Advantage Guyaux, Molenveld.
We're bringing you into live action of our women's semifinal match here at the Boston Open on the APTA network, presented by eNet Live. I'm Brad Easterbrook alongside Mark Fischel. And the match is between our number 4 seeds of Guyaux and Molenveld, who came off a huge 3-set thriller against our number 1 seeds of Hanisch and Cooper, against our number 5 seeds and the number 1 Childress Point standing team of Sikora and Morgan. So Mark, what do you think of this matchup?
Well, it's a rematch from Indian Trail that was won by Guyaux and Molenveld, which I think was the only tournament they played this year. Myrta Molenveld has smartly scheduled herself off on every weekend where there's not a tournament. So we're not sure the game score. It's advantage Guyaux and Molenveld, and that's Jessica Guyaux with the return. Here's the score of its game.
Molenveld, they lead 2-0 first set.
Okay, so 2-0 Guyaux and Molenveld. Let's introduce our players. This is Myrta Molenveld at the top of the screen, getting ready to serve. Her partner, Jessica Guyaux, is at the net in the light blue jacket. And in the backcourt, we have Charlotte Sikora playing the ad side in the gray, and that's Allison Morgan returning serve in the black. So we're going to show you this match until the other semifinal starts. Charlotte Sikora is one of my favorite players, Brad. She's really explosive. She drives the ball off both wings, although the backhand I think is a better shot, and really a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, she's great, and one of her best attributes is she has fun and is positive on the court no matter what the score.
And interestingly enough, last year, Sikora and Molenveld were supposed to play some tournaments together. And the first tournament of the year, Molenveld played with Guyaux, and they won Patterson and beat Cooper and Hanisch in the final. And at that point, she decided to play the rest of the season with Guyaux. Molenveld did. And they didn't have anywhere near that success. And you see now that...
Talking about Guyaux and Molenveld after their first
after
win.
that. And Sikora then went to play with somebody else, has found great success with Alice Morgan. So things could have worked out differently, and this could have been, Molenveld and Sikora.
Oh, absolutely.
15-30.
These teams are both really explosive. It should be noted that I think Jessica Guyaux's dealing with like a fever, and she's just played a 3-set battle. So we'll see if that has any effect down the road. I think Morgan and Sikora are still a work in progress. I think they're playing people together that they've never played before. And they're learning how to play as a team, and they keep evolving. They've had great results. We talked about them coming in 7th place at the at Indian Trail, and then going right away to the finals.
Game Morgan Sikora.
Of charities.
Guyaux Molenveld lead 2-1.
And they went to the semifinals of Midwesterns, and that was the first time they played, Dardis and Shea. And they're figuring it out, how to play people. I think you actually have to keep them in as a dark horse for nationals, or certainly a team to watch out for.
Yeah, I agree with dark horse. It's hard for me when a team, neither of the individuals have been past the quarters, assuming either of them have made the quarters. I know that Sikora hasn't. I don't know whether Morgan, I can't remember if Morgan did or not. That it's just hard to go in and win nationals from not having been even close before. But maybe, and look, it's such a wide open year with Gabby, with Gabby Nicolescu and Liz Cruz both having babies and not playing.
Yeah, and then no Vicky Stoklosova, no Jade Curtis.
Yeah, I assume we'll see Jade Curtis. I don't know who we'll see her with, but maybe. But it is wide open, to your point.
So what do you think of the matchup out here?
Well, you wonder how much fatigue is going to play a factor. Both teams, Molenveld and Guyaux, came off a long 3-setters, referred to that. Their teams kind of match up similarly. Molenveld is the offense from the deuce court. Sikora is the offense from the ad court for her team. Jess Guyaux, you're just never quite sure what you're going to get. She's so talented. She's such a great athlete. I think more than any other player around, her highs and her lows are separated by a lot.
Yeah, very wide delta. You can see her hit these amazing blitzes, and here you see her brazenly standing in, attacking a couple balls, and you'll see her hit some winners, and then all of a sudden, you'll shake your head and go, why'd she do that?
The other factor in the match will be the Molenveld volleying. She tends to volley a little upright, and I'll get you to elaborate on that as we go on, and misses a few more volleys than some of the other top women do.
Yeah. On the other side of that, Allison Morgan's one of the best technical volleyers in the game, and Sikora's a very good volleyer as well.
They move really well at the net together. From a volleying perspective, if you're going to go with the Hogan adage of the team that misses the fewest volley wins in women's paddle, you'd think that Morgan Sikora are the better volleying team.
And they play good position. They volley it, shift over. They rarely are reaching for a ball. Nice move there from Molenveld. That's where Sikora's the most dangerous with her forehand. Her backhand hits from anywhere, but forehand she likes to play transitionally, moving forward. That was a good volley there from Molenveld. Wow, let cord off the body and out of play.
And under the car. Is that your car, Brad?
It's not my car. I think that's much nicer than my car.
Okay, a little help from the fans getting the ball back.
Yeah, there go. You see that up the top of the screen, trying to track down that ball. But the umpire's reaching into his pocket, but I think they got it.
Well, we got lots of balls now.
It's raining.
It's raining paddle balls.
And I think that's a little umpire action here to determine what the ball in play is and whether they're going to go to a new ball.
Yes. 40 love. Yes.
I'm not sure if that's a new ball or not.
Marshall Chapin, brief appearance on the court, chair of the APT Umpires Committee.
Does a great job. He's having a great conversation with him off air about a legal serve versus a running start serve.
Game, Morgan Sikora. Games are 2-all, first set.
After a fast start, you and Molenveld played a couple of sloppy games, and we're back
we
to 2-all.
may see some of that, like you said. You know, it may. And if we are talking fitness, Sikora and Morgan had a terrific quarterfinal win, 6-4, 6-1 against Gebbia.
Love 15.
And there's an example of Molenveld going out of her window frame, so to speak, and that ball was really right on her partner's paddle. Surprising decision. She had the whole court open and chose to go behind Allison Morgan. Guyaux played plenty of tournaments this year. Molenveld very little. Oh.
Yeah, very little from Molenveld. You know, and she's been 2 or 3 years in and waiting for her to break out. I mean, she's had breakout wins, but not a breakout.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely spot on, Bradford.
And it could happen to do with the fact that she's just not playing quite enough.
Yeah, this year she's played as little as she has at all. Last couple of years played a lot of events.
I watched her a bit in her match against Hanish and Cooper. She looked good. She's bringing drives of different paces, volleyed solidly.
We talked earlier about how important it is for her to get low when she volleys.
Yeah, she's very tall, and you're right, she stands a bit upright. She doesn't always get down in that athletic stance, and that creates a distance from your head to the paddle. And it's just hard to navigate that. You're apt to miss-hit more volleys or frame them off the top. Get those type of volleys that die in there, and I agree with you.
Good pace there from that overhead. But that's a
pace.
dangerous overhead against Charlotte Sikora. She can really attack that one with her backhand.
And she got caught in a moment of indecision on that one.
We're going to talk a little more about it when we do our
30-15.
Viking keys to victory in the next match,
Yep.
Brad. But it's so interesting to me to see players take away certain shots with their aggressiveness. I mean, Sikora is a
30
player
all.
that you wouldn't think you'd be able to hit that soft overhead in the side wire because you think she's really going to attack it. And we saw some of Anna Brzova doing that in the last match, where she really attacked that down-up overhead in her side wire.
A lot of it, from the other side of it is your ability to hold your overhead, make your opponent think you're going to hit it a certain place. So they have to wait and hold their position. Anytime your opponent has a read, you're in trouble.
Now, did you like to guess, Brad, in terms of where your opponents were hitting overheads?
Every now and then you do throw in a guess, all right? And it's a good thing to do because it makes you unpredictable. You just have to make sure you have the energy and you don't pull yourself too far out of position. See, that is a bad paddle 101 play.
30-40.
You got Molenveld cutting across the court and then hitting it back across the grain and just giving Morgan an easy down the line ball. You never want to switch the play across the court without the ability to move into position.
That's exactly what you talked about, pulling herself out of position.
Yes, that's
Game,
backhand.
Morgan, Sikora. They lead 3-2 first set.
3 games in a row for them. Yeah, I think that's the factor in the game that's held Molenveld back.
Here's the play right there, and you can see she moves across and just opens up an easy push forehand for Allison Morgan down the line.
Yeah, Molenveld's volleying, I think, is the factor that's held her back the most. I mean, I really like the rolling overhead. I think that she's just great in the backcourt off both sides.
She's got enough
forehand.
offense.
But I just don't know that she's made enough volleys. And I think a lot of the women like to go high on her because she stands up so straight. And you just find she makes a couple errors. Here we go. Charlotte Sikora to serve to Mirta Molenveld.
That's 3 games in a row for Sikora and Morgan.
And as we talked about earlier, Sikora's, I mean, if you had to pick a woman a couple of years ago who you said is ready to break out, really has all the skills in the world, it would have been Sikora.
Oh,
Well, that ball went through
body
Molenveld.
shot. Yeah, she was trying to hit her, which isn't necessarily a bad play, but
I would say necessarily is a good play.
Did it hit you? Okay.
No chair umpire asks
Okay,
if it
thank
hits
you. Love
Mirta.
15.
And Molenveld's one of the best sports people out here. Sports people? Could you be a
sports
sportsman?
person. She's only one person, Mark.
Sportswoman.
She's not a sports people. Sports person. I think you sort of like actor and actress now. Aren't they all kind of actors now?
They're all kind of actors. I agree, Brad.
Or
Singers?
Sportsmen. Sportsmen.
Great lob. Guyaux's really opening the court up with her lobbing.
Oh, she just got
15 all.
stuck.
Yeah, I love the discipline you're seeing from Sikora staying on the back end. She's almost got that incredibly ugly Mark Parsons backhand where she just kind of shifts her hands over and almost hits it cross-handed.
Ooh, just long.
15-30.
How do you think the temperature dropping will have an effect as it's 15-30 with Sikora serving?
You know, in this game, that's a great question. It is dropping as we speak. It's dropped a good 15 degrees, I believe, since about an hour and a half ago. Still wouldn't be considered cold or cold weather paddle. I don't actually think it's going to have any effect. Might have a tiny effect on the ability to hit hard overheads. Either one of these teams use that shot a lot.
The Sikora likes it, and it's a shot, again, a lot of the women have used against Molenveld.
They get her moving,
30 all.
get her chasing.
And there you saw her movement there, just not as high a batting average when you're
30 all.
stationary hitting the forehand as when you have to take 3 or 4 steps.
It's okay.
I think that would faze me a little in this match,
30,
or give me
40.
some concern, would be Guyaux and Molenveld's ability to like fight their way back if they get way down. You know, how much energy they're going to have for that. You can see Guyaux still warming herself up. She always is in constant motion.
Yeah. Talk about energy. She just always has energy, and they break back
Game,
for 3 all.
Molenveld. Games are 3 all. First
Yeah,
set.
Guyaux will spend 100 minutes on the stepper before the tournament.
Right.
You used to do that all the time, Brad, right?
I've taken 100 steps before, yes.
Oh, great pickup from Molenveld. She looked like she was in all sorts of trouble there.
She was, and she hit it with tremendous touch. She didn't pop the ball up for Morgan to crush it at her. That's a great spotted lob. She's done that really well, Guyaux has.
Block lobs. Oh, great
Love
blitz from
15.
Morgan.
Well, there you see the fastest player on the court. You can say Guyaux's quick, but Morgan she's fast.
So talk about those two players, Brad, Morgan and Guyaux, because they do play a similar style.
Yeah, they'll both look to move forward. They don't hit like, that's a rip.
15
But if
all.
I had to serve, I would definitely serve it to the Sikora forehand more than the backhand. But they'll both try to take the ball early with the forehand, drive it down, and follow it up with quick blitzes. You'll see both of them move forward into the court more so than you'll see Molenveld. You'll see Sikora once in a while, but less so than Morgan. Morgan is so fast. She doesn't have what you would call a thumper of a
15,
forehand,
30.
but if you do that, which is the worst shot that Molenveld could hit the ball down, up to Morgan's forehand, she'll move forward, hit it downward, and then continue in looking for blitzes.
Yeah, Molenveld's got to be more disciplined than that.
Oh, she was
15,
flat-footed,
40.
stunned by that. It's a heck of a backhand. But you're right, she was just sort of standing up. She wasn't, I don't know how she didn't expect a possible drive there.
From the Sikora backhand, which is
Right.
the biggest weapon on the
Was it-
court.
It's a relatively just missed.
30-40.
Big point right here.
Yeah,
Really sense the match is kind of teetering right now for the set.
it's shifting, and I think Guyaux and Molenveld, better for them to stay ahead. That's a great volley.
Great pace in those overheads.
Oh,
She
good.
baited her there with the drop shot and hit it past her.
Yep, just couldn't get a
Deuce.
decent lob up, and perfect holding of all those shots by Guyaux.
Guyaux's got a lot of moxie to her game.
Oh, for sure. She's a brazen type player. And what do you mean by that?
She doesn't overpower you. She's got a lot of
Advantage
touch and
Morgan
feel,
Sikora.
court positioning. That's how she beats you.
Well, right. What she does is move herself forward and into positions all the time. And she does use a good lob, quick lob up, as opposed to, say, a really high lob. Like you watch somebody like an Amy Shea or some other people hit Anna Brzova hit a really high lob up. She'll use a quick lob up down the line and then move forward quickly. See if you can short hop a ball.
I also really like her overhead. It's very solid. She's not going for a lot of winners.
A couple of good volleys from Molenveld, but like you said,
Got away with that overhead.
Deuce.
yep. At least she made her move, though. Wasn't a
Right.
sitter.
Big game for her to hold here.
We can see on the other court, our other semifinal is getting ready to go. We're pretty close. At least Roxy Enica's out there.
Well, Molenveld with a little bit of a miss hit there.
Advantage
Again,
Guyaux,
she's got to be
Molenveld.
careful about that Sikora backhand. That's the weapon on that side of the court. It's the one shot you want to avoid.
Oh, just just missed it.
Game Guyaux,
Great volley by
Molenveld.
Molenveld,
They lead
keeping her
4
in the
games to
point.
3
I think
first set.
Molenveld's volleys in that point were huge. She made a couple of really tough ones.
Yeah, and that last volley that Sikora missed, that's a hard volley. When you're racing forward like that, I know it's a high ball, but the target is so small.
You're on a full run, but here's the thing. If you get a little more careful with it and just sort of push it over, the other guy's still at the net, and they can stuff it right back at you. So you have to go for it. And as a consequence, it gets missed. We talk about it all the time, Mark. Gets missed more than many shots do.
Here's a look at the draws. You see how competitive those quarterfinals were. Only Morgan Sikora made it through easily.
Yep.
So Allison Morgan is serving 3-4 first set.
That was a good hold there from Molenveld and Guyaux.
You really felt like that was a major moment for them.
Oh, go! Too good.
15 love.
I like the encouragement, Bradford.
Yep, I was trying from here. I was giving her all I could give.
Which wasn't very much, as evidenced by she was about 20 feet from that ball when it bounced the second time.
Hard to read that one. You think she should have been able to anticipate that?
Looking for the let court.
Right, exactly.
Oh.
30 love.
It's interesting. I think that Morgan Sikora have clearly been the better team while we've been watching.
Well, you got to take the first 2 games into account that
Right.
we didn't see.
But
while we've been watching, I agree with you. But, Guyaux and Molenveld up a couple of sets. The great thing that Guyaux's done, she's lobbed really well. Drive has been spotty. I haven't really seen a ton of offense yet out of Molenveld.
Good backhand there through.
Oh, she just hammers. Here she comes doing work. And again, same exact thing we're talking about. She's got 2 of those high forehands.
30,
misses them
15.
both. But you can't say she did anything wrong.
Played a great point. But again,
Yeah.
that's a tough ball. It looks easy. People think, oh, I shouldn't miss that. But it's a tough ball.
It's one of the harder shots.
30,
And I would
15.
actually, if we had some stats on that, I'd be actually curious to see how often that gets missed. If it's 50% it gets missed.
What's your money say?
I would say it's a little less than 50%. I would say it's probably like it gets missed 43% of the time or 40.
I was going to go with 42.56.
Yeah, that's probably more accurate. At least with the .5 second, it sounds more accurate. At
It
least
does
you gave it
sound
a lot
more
of,
accurate.
lot of thought to it.
Like I had dinner with Lubau the other night, and he made reservations at 5:04.
Did he? That's a very Lubowian time to have a dinner reservation. And I would think Lubau might be old enough now to get the senior citizen special at 5:04.
Early starter. Early bird special. Oh, you see Molenveld dealing with the hard overhead there.
Oh, great hands up there.
Look at Molenveld. Oh,
She went for the winner.
that looks so good off her
40,
paddle,
15.
too.
How about that? That was fun.
(40-15).
There's a big Molenveld forward. The quick move. Oh, that ball must not have been high enough for Guyaux to take a real strike at it.
Seen a couple of hard overheads. Sikora, oh, that was wide. You see
She's still
Sikora
playing it.
looking around.
She was looking for some help from her partner on the call, and now it's too late.
Yeah, and there's no way her partner can help her on that call.
I mean, she can. They just have to open their mouths and call it, but they didn't. So
Yeah, it's just very hard for a partner to call the ball there. But ball was clearly wide. Interesting to see if that comes
40,
into
30.
play.
well, if they get this game, you clearly have to say it did because, that was an out ball. And Sikora didn't make the call. Thought it was out, but not confident.
Thought correctly,
Yep.
but obviously didn't get a great look at it.
Oh, that's such a good move by Molenveld. We're back to deuce.
She
Juice.
tags her. Do you think that has something to do with the Dutch not liking the French?
Could be. There's a
Molenveld
lot of tension out there.
Yeah, she's spoken ill of the French on numerous occasions, especially Max Lefebvre.
Well, that's understandable.
Missed the
Advantage
volley.
Guyaux, Molenveld.
Boy, and from an out call to break points, the game won.
Well, look, if they win this game, you have to say
a great response from Molenveld. Well, she's had some great transition points, some great hands volleys to stay in it. Oh, another unbelievable
that was right on
lob.
the line.
Well, I thought Molenveld was going to go with a hard roller there, and she didn't.
Ooh, seen her hit like a continental forehand like that. It's a tricky shot. There you see that what we talked about before, Mark. Morgan moving forward, taking the ball quickly out of the air, using her speed as a weapon.
There she misses the
Game
forehand.
Guyaux,
And it's so
Molenveld.
interesting, Brad. In
They
sports, you have
lead
these
5
windows
games to
of
3, first
opportunity.
set.
They had the game won, they didn't call the ball out, and now
And
they're
all of a
down
sudden-
5-3.
Absolutely. And you know, it's interesting. So I'm going to bring this up. So I saw 2 teams playing, and a guy from that side where you saw Allison Morgan said she couldn't call that. A guy from over there made a call, and he calls it out. And the other team goes, "You can't make a call from that side of the court over there." And he goes, "Yes, I can. This is my side of the court." So you may not think it's right, but she can make the call.
Yeah. Okay, Jess Guyaux serving for the first set.
Yeah, what a strange
15
turnaround.
love.
Guyaux and Molenveld just stuck a lot of volleys those last couple of games.
Volleyed really well.
We're down 15-40 and 40-15 in the 2 games from 3 all, and won both of them.
She makes that one, but what
Another-
hands from Molenveld.
She's just sticking everything right now.
Wow,
Oh!
look at Morgan reading the play.
15 all.
You almost made that one.
I mean, good play though. And there's the hard overhead you said, getting Mirta Molenveld to move. She doesn't stick it well. Morgan reads it and cleans it up. Ah, terrific.
15-30.
Great low return. That's what Morgan does best. She doesn't crush it per se, but she puts it low and she moves forward, and it puts so much pressure.
30 all.
Big moment for that
There's that
risky
fine
dink and
line.
blitz, right?
She
Because I
was
think even if that goes over, she'll just push it down the line. She's not going to gain much from it.
Well, that was a
30-40.
tight-looking serve, Bradford.
So I would say that's a half a serve.
Haven't seen too many of the rollers from Molenveld, which she likes so much normally.
I think Allison Morgan is so fast that she's going to be careful with it. The player to use it against is Sikora, but if you don't hit it just right, she'll stick it too.
Deuce.
Wild forehand there, takes us back to deuce. Yeah, Molenveld's made a lot of volleys this set. Couple forced by her poor overheads, but really volleyed well.
No, she's made some great volleys. And you talked about that earlier as being one of their keys. She's going to have to volley well. That is a terrific lob, and Guyaux has lobbed really well. Spotted her lobs. I've seen her bring a ton of offense, but the lobs have been terrific.
Look at that one. Just opened the whole court up.
Well, they're doing a little bit of work, almost like, it's not an eye, but Morgan's right tight looking for the drop. And Sikora's getting all the overheads. That's
Just
too deep
too
in the court.
deep in the court,
Yeah.
yeah. Takes us to set
Advantage
point.
Guyaux,
What
Molenveld.
great play by Guyaux Molenveld. Really impressed.
And after this set, we'll be taking you over to the other semifinal match.
The popcorn match of the day.
Popcorn match. So for those of you who don't understand, go get your popcorn and sit down. Looking forward to a great match.
Great volley from Guyaux there. And Morgan misses it.
Game in first set.
Guyaux
Straight
Molenveld.
Games to 3.
Loose points in the crucial game.
Yep, that's exactly right. Okay, so we're going to take a break and be right back after these messages on the APTA Network presented by eNet Live.
I play to be a role model in my neighborhood.
I play to be part of the team.
I play to be stronger than my brothers.
I play to channel my energy in a positive way.
I play because the field is where I shine. I play to be a part of something bigger than myself.
I play to stay healthy. I play to feel powerful.
I play to win.
Welcome back to the APTA Grand Prix Series. We are about to bring you the other women's semifinal match between our number 2 and our number 3 seeds. As Mark said, the popcorn match. We're really looking forward to this one, Mark. But first of all, let's talk about our sponsors here. Uline and Viking.
APTA national sponsors.
And our sponsors also, Discipline and Alpha LLC.
Owl's Nest, White Mountains, Worcester Air.
1894, Blue on Highland, Bullybor, Liberty Mutual Insurance, Corcoran Haviland Insurance Group, Bonvie Homes, Columbus and Over Group, and New England Country Club, and Anchor Capital Advisors LLC. So thank you to all our sponsors. All right, so the match is about to get away, but we're going to talk briefly about our Viking keys to winning, which aren't up there right now.
We're going to come back to our Viking
we'll
keys to
come
winning.
back
The
to
players getting ready to start. We'll come back to our Viking keys to winning.
Paddle fans, welcome to the Boston Open in the women's semifinals. To my right, playing in the deuce court, is Martina Ondrejkova from Greenwich, Connecticut, and her playing partner, Anna Maria Zubori from Westport, Connecticut. To my left, playing out of the deuce court, is Anna Brzova from Franklin Lakes, New Jersey, and her playing partner, Roxy Enica from Greenwich, Connecticut.
There you
Big
go.
ovation for
Ondrejkova,
the fans.
Zubori have won the toss. They have elected to receive.
So
Okay.
just to
Well-
identify everybody, Brad, this is Anna Brzova, the orange jacket, serving, and she's serving to Martina Ondrejkova. And Ondrejkova is playing with Anna Zubori. She's wearing the hat right there. Just lob the ball, and that's Roxy Enica. So let's talk about these 4 women, Brad. It's interesting.
15
Obviously,
love.
Enica and Ondrejkova used to play together as a team. Zubori and Brzova are very close, have traveled together several times. So why don't you bring us up to date in the players?
Oh yeah, this is going to be, like you said, Mark, it's a
30
popcorn
love.
match. You know, Zubori's got a huge forehand. She has a two-handed backhand, but she pretty much doesn't hit it. She has mostly a one-handed backhand out there. And you'd have to say that she and Roxy
30,
Enica are two of the most
15.
individually talented players on the tour in terms of shot making and things they can do. And then you got Ondrejkova who can hit the ball off both sides. Probably both sides better than anyone else on the court.
40,
Forehand and backhand,
15.
drive it on either side. She's very tall, rangy. I wouldn't say she's fast, but she moves around the court really well because she's so long. And then Anna Brzova, who's probably, you know, on the court, she's technically the best volleyer on the court by a margin and can play a number of styles. Disciplined, you know, multiple national champion. We just haven't seen that much of her in the last few years.
And there you're seeing some of the offense that Ondrejkova brings off of both wings.
Oh yeah, she'll hit it on either side, forehand or backhand. Takes it early, will come over the ball. And you'll see her offense
40,
to be more like
30.
short and attacking, whereas you see Zubori on the far side in the cap with more of a free-flowing topspin swing.
Yeah, that forehand of Zubori's explosive.
Yeah, and she does a good job. She can hit it because it's so free-flowing. She can roll it, flatten it out a bit. I'd actually like to see her do even more of that, to be honest. Like, she could really be so
Deuce.
versatile with that.
This is really only Zubori's second season at high-level paddle. And even though it's the second season, she hasn't played a lot of paddle. She travels a lot. She works as a tour guide. She didn't get back in until I think Charities was her first tournament.
Ooh.
But there you see some of that explosiveness. That ball just beat Brzova with pace.
Yeah, and I think
Advantage,
Brzova made a mistake even
Ondrejkova,
bothering to
Zubori.
come back in there. She just gifted her. She knew she had a
Marsh,
week over.
we just
She
had a
probably should
ball out
just
of play in the
transition
parking
back.
lot.
So they're going to get a new ball, I think.
Marshall Chapin on the spot, as always. Get Brzova serving break point. Be interesting to see how they adjust to her return to serve. A lot of teams stay back against her.
Yeah, but Brzova's a classic volleyer. I don't anticipate her staying back unless she's really getting hurt, and she handled that volley with ease.
Now that's the matchup they're going to want to stay away from. They don't want Enica hitting that hard rolling overhead at Ondrejkova. Ondrejkova's wire plays, we'll talk about in our keys to victory, can be a little spotty.
Oh, great volley from Brzova. Probably,
Deuce.
I can't say it was a bad move. She was expecting a much better shot
Yeah, I
from
agree with that
Ondrejkova.
completely.
And Ondrejkova hung that ball, and then Zubori basically ate it.
I thought it was the right move. Ondrejkova had a high forehand. You would have thought that was going to be a much better ball off her paddle.
Well, we talked about this off air a bunch, Mark. You know,
Advantage,
this matchup
Ondrejkova,
is,
Zubori.
there are many similarities on both sides of the court. There are some significant differences, but how this match gets managed and played and the decisions they make, you can say that about any match, but really is going to be a big deal out here, as well as
Ondrejkova,
execution.
Zubori.
And there you see
Ondrejkova,
Brzova
Zubori
coming
lead
in
the
behind her
first set,
serve,
one
and they're
game,
they're
love.
killing it. I mean, she's having to make terrific volleys to stay in the point, and I think they're really going to have to adjust things in order to compete.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen a match where I've seen Brzova stay back a lot. She
No.
can, because she really is, I mean, in my estimation, she's the best volleyer on the court.
Absolutely.
And you'll watch her, and this is one of those moments for those people at home. Watch how she volleys. It really is technically perfect. She gets her body behind it. Paddle is up. Wow, great let court
Love
rip.
15.
Although I question why Zubori is ripping that ball hard into a straight back screen for Enica to just pound.
Yeah, that's a ball that you just got to bail on.
15 all.
Yeah, sometimes that is the play. If you use the hard overhead, you hit it, and then you let your opponents take a rip at it, and they, you know, it gives them a chance to possibly miss, but you bail, and if they make it, you can play it off the back screen. You might get a drive back anyway.
1-1 in the second set.
Wow.
Zubori with just such great hands.
Incredible hands, and I was actually surprised to see Ondrejkova just stand there as if she knew she was going to hit a perfect soft half volley there.
Great action there.
15-30.
It will be said, Ondrejkova can get caught in transition. You know, of the 4 players on the court, she would be the slowest to move from one spot to the other. Ooh.
30 all.
Oh, great serve. Really drew Brzova
40,
out wide and
30.
back. Tough return to make. That was a well-struck serve. Yep. And we talked a bit about Zubori and Enica, their talent level, but also talk a little about the similarities in their game a little, Mark.
Well, they're both such explosive players with such amazing physical skills. Oh, Enica misses that one. And that's a great example there, Brad. It's managing the moment,
Zubori,
making
Ondrejkova.
decisions. Right, that's a shot she can pull off, but fails to make there.
I mean, yeah, hitting a cutter right out of there is not bad, but when Enica misses, you're often going, why did she hit it, right? Oftentimes. And that is so much of her game. Even more so with Zubori, but Zubori, you know, is, if you watch that serve, how many women are hitting a serve the way Zubori is? She's just ripping it with top spin.
Maybe floor Hanish, that's about it.
Yeah, but, you know, floor hits it. I think Zubori's going with more action and top spin on it even than that. Oh, jeez. And you can see, I think Brzova was on the net before.
Before the ball crossed the net.
Yeah, like she was right there.
So that brings us to one of the things we talked about earlier, which is how do they adjust to the return of serve? How do they deal with the Enica return of serve, and on the other side of the net, how do they deal with both of their return of serves?
Yep.
So far, it's been very conventional. Here's the first time we see them shifting into the I formation.
Yeah, it's good to see that. And right now, it's almost as if they're just challenging each other to make shots. I don't see any specific strategy or anything. They're going to, like, who's going to hit some better shots? But good move there. She does the serve and stay back, takes a rip on the drive, and that's it.
That is a big serve.
I don't think there's a bigger one. I'm trying to think. That's out.
A lot of early misses from Anna Brzova, both at the net and in the backcourt.
Oof.
That's about the 4th or 5th game point they've had. A couple of faults, a couple of misses.
That's out.
Zubori loves the trick shots, cover of the last Platform Tennis magazine. Loves those behind the back, between the leg shots, and she's got the skills to pull them off. Right now she can't get her serve in the box in the ad court.
Yeah, it's been a funny game. You know, you see Enica miss an easy cut slash earlier. 3-4 faults from Zubori.
Brzova, Enica.
First break point.
Yeah, see, this is where you'll see. If
Ondrejkova
gets caught up there,
Enica.
she'll
The first
get burned.
set is tied, one
Transition's
game
not going to be where
apiece.
she's, you know, well-suited.
And Zubori just hung her out to dry there. That's a ball you got to lob. You know that her foot speed is not the greatest.
You have to know you're going to hit a good shot, and you have to commit to the drive. She just hung it up there. Maybe she's like, well, you hung me up there once before. I'm
hanging you up there?
Yeah, right. Little payback. I don't think it was, but...
Oh, they got caught miscommunicating there. It looked like both Brzova and Enica were going left.
I think it confused Ondrejkova.
I know, it confused me.
She missed the easy return. It's a great lob drive combination.
Well, that's her bread and butter there, but you can see her feet get a little static. Not great movement. And I think one of the big differences in the match potentially is that both Ondrejkova and Zubori serve much better. For Brzova and Enica, their serves are not
30-15.
great. Brzova's serve is solid, but Enica's serve can go off. Although we did see a bunch of faults there from Zubori in the last game.
Yep. That was wide.
Ball was out.
Called out and confirmed by the
30
chair
all.
umpire.
Right now, it's just a free-flowing
Mess.
kind of hit fest. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on yet. There's just a lot of hits and misses.
30,
They're all
40.
just coming in. There's not a lot of prime reason to the play yet. What hands. Great shot from
Game,
Ondrejkova there.
Ondrejkova, Zubori.
Yeah, again, you see
Ondrejkova,
they're
Zubori
really
lead
struggling.
the first set,
Serve
2
and come in, really
games
getting
to
punished.
1.
Now, they're going to have to, you know, it's interesting.
Let's take a look at our Viking keys to victory.
Oh, good transition there, Mark.
Okay, so we talk about managing speed of play, Brad. What are you talking about there for Enica Brzova?
You know, really, it's a question of, we were talking about that we're not sure who wants to play this match fast and who's it's going to benefit. So the key is, at this point, we're just seeing fast points. Have we even seen a single long point? Right now, it's sort of benefiting both teams. They're both just feasting on serve and return. Risk versus reward
we
shots.
talked about earlier.
Yeah, Enica, is she going to pull out these heavy cuts and go for big-time rollers in difficult situations where, to be honest,
love.
she's not better than 50%. But she might be if she chose her spots better.
And Brzova's side wire, we're talking about stepping in and not allowing that down-up overhead that we saw so much of in the semis.
But right now, the
30
funniest part about
love.
the only thing that's coming into play is speed of play. Because
Yeah.
right now, it's all serve and return.
Yes, there's
It's
nothing
just
else
serve
going on.
return with some blitzes.
30 love.
And if it's going to be serve return with some blitzes,
40,
then you might
love.
be right. You know, Zubori and Ondrejkova might have the advantage for sure here.
Well, they serve so
Because
much
they
better.
serve bigger. And the only reason Zubori got broken last time, she faulted 3-4
Yes.
times. She had 4 or 5 game points.
Broke herself, essentially.
Yeah, yeah. So if it's going to be a question of just serve and return, I'm going to put my money on Ondrejkova and Zubori.
Smart move there by Zubori.
Ooh, fade away, backhand
40,
drive.
15.
I have that shot.
You have it.
Mine usually hits the side wire on the fly, though.
So
geez.
she was a lot
She
closer.
was a lot closer than I normally do.
There you go. Don't try that at home. That is a heck of a shot.
40,
But Brzova's
30.
really swinging with confidence. She missed a bunch, but kept swinging at him.
Well, you know what's interesting about Brzova? I think she's one of these players, you want to hit a 3/4 serve to
She
her.
needs somebody to
If
generate
she-
the pace.
Yes. If you give her more pace, she starts timing it. And then she basically stuffed that return. Come on, there we go. Great get.
Nope. Wide.
Just wide, yep.
3-1. Yeah, I play with Matt Garavaglia, who's like that. The
Ondrejkova,
softer you
Zubori.
serve, the worse his
Ondrejkova,
forehand
Zubori
gets.
lead
Right.
the
Some
first
people
set,
like the
3
pace.
games to 1.
Okay, so here was we talked about the Enica Brzova keys to victory. Let's also take a look at, here's Zubori Ondrejkova. And we talked about Ondrejkova's screenplay, which is not great. She usually defends her wires. She does not like having a lot of balls off there. And as a result, she tends to play deep in the court. Confidence, Brad, you want to talk about that one?
Sure, absolutely. You know, Ondrejkova Zubori, you know, just came off a great win in Chicago. You know, I don't think they lack confidence at all. I mean, Ondrejkova's a, you know, national champion, but they got to be feeling pretty good that they're matching up well with everybody. And I think this match, a lot of it's just going to come down to the ability to adjust.
Oh, great backhand there.
Love 15.
And ability to adjust. We talked a little bit about, Brad. Serve, return to serve.
Serve, return. I mean, so let's take one of our keys to winning, Ondrejkova's screens. How many screens does Ondrejkova play? 0.
Yeah.
Now,
15
part of that is
all.
Ondrejkova, you know, and Zubori are driving every ball. You don't get screens unless you lob. And if they're never going to lob, then I guess their screens are going to come into
Yeah.
play. But they're going to, you know, we're going to have to find out what speed of play works better. Wow, that was a heck of a volley from Enica. There's the risk-reward shots, which I think
15, 30.
she, you know, she makes them and they're spectacular from time to time. But what do you think her percentages of winning points on those versus losing them?
Maybe below 50%.
Probably below 50, which means that right now it's just a work in progress. And I think she's just hitting them so that she will get above 50%.
15,
But they're not
40.
necessarily a factor in her winning right now. They might be a year from now.
Great
Wow.
ball there.
Just
Yeah, they're just hurting him too
Game,
badly on return of
Ondrejkova,
serve. That's the big
Zubori.
difference in the match to me right
Ondrejkova,
now.
Zubori lead.
well, it's like
the
we said,
first
Mark.
set,
I think
4
we
games.
just talked about it
won.
the last changeover. If this is going to be a battle of serve return, then serve return advantage goes to Zubori and Ondrejkova. Did you see Ondrejkova just take those 2 balls and basically, top of the bounce and destroy them?
Yeah.
And Zubori and Ondrejkova have the better serves.
Yeah, the only game that Brzova and Enica have won was pretty much gifted to them.
Gifted by Zubori. The last service game she had 3 or 4 faults. She had 4 game points.
Molenveld Guyaux were up 3-1 a couple minutes ago. See if we can get an updated score.
That's an awesome effort for them. See, what I'm seeing a lot from Morgan and Sikora is their ability to still figure out how to play everybody. And I don't think they have a lot of answers. I feel like they have to
15,
go through it,
love.
and then they start to figure it out. I felt that way a little at Midwesterns when, they played way too fast again. Oh, boy.
Yep.
Way too fast against Artis and Shea.
30, love.
And they weren't willing to grind it all with him, and Artis and Shea thumped them good.
You want to see Brzova and Enica make some changes here because clearly it's not going the right direction for them.
Well, we talked about speed of play, and right now, see, that's what we would need to see. We need to see some balls.
Yeah, play a couple solid points, make a bunch of good decisions.
Wow, what
then
a
Brzova gets caught in the
slippery
middle of the
ball
court.
by
Love.
Ondrejkova, though.
Yep.
She just kind of slid it over there. Looking for more S words.
Oh,
So that was a
Game,
volley
Zubori, Ondrejkova.
waterfall.
Zubori,
That was
Ondrejkova
awesome.
lead the
A
first
volley
set,
waterfall,
5
protect my
games to
face.
1.
That's right. That was awesome.
as we often talk about, Brad, how you finish sets is important. Here they just need to kind of steady the ship. They don't need to come back and win the set,
Absolutely.
but play some good points.
And I loved what Brzova did there. That went in.
Love
didn't
15.
Move for it. I think it stunned her. But Brzova went back, took a moment to talk to Enica. I think that's great. One of the factors you have to say is, clearly Zubori and Ondrejkova are a team
Love
at this
30.
point. You wouldn't say Enica, they've played together, but they're not a team.
Boy, they are rolling right now, and they just keep serving and coming in. There's an underhand serve from Enica.
Yeah, but that's just
Love
like,
40.
let me see and try something different.
And here's Brzova coming back to talk to her again.
I don't understand why they don't go back and play a couple of points.
Just stay back and hit
Yeah,
30 lobs.
Stay back, hit a few points, let Brzova do. That's Brzova's world. Brzova might be the best player on the court at
Game,
lobbing,
Ondrejkova,
setting up some offense
Zubori.
from the backcourt.
Ondrejkova,
Now maybe Enica doesn't want to do that, but
Zubori.
let's
Take
give it a
the
shot
first
because
set,
those guys
6
just blew
games
through them.
to 1.
Yeah, 6-1 first set. Okay, we'll be back in a moment after these messages right here on the APTA Network, presented by eNet Live.
You can't put wings on a car. You can't see an accident coming. Or walk away from one like this. You can't make a car talk.
How can I help you?
You can't fight gravity. And you can't make one of the world's best SUVs even better. Go on, tell us what else we can't do. The all-new GLS.
Are you ready to go?
Possibly the safest, most spacious, most Mercedes SUV ever made. Mercedes-Benz. The best or nothing.
When people think of Roto-Rooter, they typically just think plumbing and water cleanup. And they wouldn't be wrong, but we do a whole lot more. Roto-Rooter. Yeah, we do that too.
Welcome back to the APTA Grand Prix Series of our ladies semi-final match between the number 2 seeds of Zubori and Ondrejkova against the number 3 seeds of Enica and Brzova. And Mark, just a dominating performance there, by Zubori and Ondrejkova. 6-1.
Yeah, to me, I'm a little disappointed we haven't seen a little bit of a different style from Brzova and Enica. We talked earlier about the difference between the serves, and that ended up being the dispositive factor in the match.
Yeah, that's all we said. Really, the first set was just serve, return, miss balls. Let me ask you this. Do you think we had a point, one single point, that lasted 10 balls?
Maybe.
Maybe. Now,
yeah.
how many times do you call a paddle match where you say a single point didn't last 10 balls?
Never?
Yeah, they're going to have to change this. And like we said, if this is a battle of serve and return, the advantage is going to be to Ondrejkova and Zubori.
I just think Brzova's gotten away from what she does well. What she does is that. I mean, that's the way she's got to play more of.
Setting up the points with lobs and going, but I'm not sure it's her fault. It's a combination of things. They're also falling into the trap trying to serve and volley every time and getting hammered. But if they can hit control of the net with some control, they got a point. Right now, they haven't been able to get there.
Well, she's been swinging at a lot of return to serves and missed a bunch. Boy, Enica hasn't found her forehand either.
Love 30.
But what I'd love to see, let's say she doesn't find it. Does that mean they're just going to lose 6-1, 6-1? Or are they going to find a way to fight and think of a different strategy, Mark?
Okay, so Morgan Sikora up 4-3 in the second. Yeah, I think they've... Oh, well, you got a new report. Molenveld, Guyaux up 4-3 in the second.
Sorry.
Yeah, she's got to change things up.
Oh.
Yeah, and there's Zubori being overly aggressive.
Love 40.
Or overly creative or something. She's not. You want to move forward when you have an advantage.
Did Enica's return hit somebody? I thought she hit one off the back wire.
I thought it went into the back wire unless they called the serve
Brzova,
out. Serve must have been out then.
Must have
been.
Brzova and Enica lead the first set, second set, 1 game.
Good solid
love.
game for them there.
But the funny thing about matches like this, Mark, is a little turn here and a little turn there make all the difference in the world in the sense of, let's say all of a sudden Zubori and Ondrejkova miss a return or two, because nobody's building any points. This is all hit it.
Okay, so here they are staying back.
Smart. I like the thought process. I'll let Brzova do what she does, build these points, but this is a good ball for her. Eventually she's going to get the high ball that she wants to drive down, and she has that great high forehand.
Love.
And these are the adjustments you have to make to win matches.
And that was smart, and that's a different look there too, where they're both back, but Brzova serves and volleys, showing them that they're not going to just play the same way.
15 all.
Good decision there, but just misses on the backhand.
Zubori going too far. And that's that risk-reward stuff. You're driving the ball, but you're also way out of position, and it's not a high ball. So I would have said the right play there would have been a quick lob across the grain.
She forgot which side she was serving to.
When they're both back, and you see how they're doing that, by the way. For everybody watching there at home, you'll see Enica staying to her left, and they're both on the same side of the court. And that's so they want Enica to continue to play the point in the backcourt on the ad side.
40-15.
Great overhead there.
Catches the nick.
And a great start and
Point
smart
for
thinking
love.
by Brzova and Enica. Just because they're changing it up, giving them a different look. And that's out. No target to hit at.
Okay, we're going to take a look at the other court in the Molenveld Guyaux match.
Brzova and Enica lead the second set, 2 games love.
Okay, and it's Molenveld serving at 4-3 in the second.
See if we can get a score. Game score, that is.
Oh, great running forehand.
And Sikora transitionally doesn't volley as well as she does when she's already at the net. When she's at the net, she's very good volleyer. She can make transition volleys, but she's a little more vulnerable or apt to miss.
Boy, Molenveld has really volleyed well today.
Yeah, from what we saw in that first set, it was a strange turnabout. And Guyaux lobbed really well.
I think Guyaux and Molenveld are so much better when Guyaux is hitting the overheads.
You think it just frees up Molenveld to focus on her volleying?
Yeah, I also think that Guyaux's overhead's much better.
But she's not using spin. What's better about it, Mark?
It's a much more difficult shot to drive. She has a much lower point of contact, and she's pushing the ball deep in the court.
I think she mixes it, though. She'll do both. She'll hit that, and then she'll waterfall it, and she kind of does it all at the last second.
There they get in trouble. Molenveld hits the down-up overhead. Going to try and get the game score.
Sikora.
Advantage Morgan Sikora. So 4-3, add out. Big moment in the match.
They're going to a little I formation. And Sikora misses it.
But she has sprayed a lot of balls today.
Back and away.
Advantage Morgan
That's
Sikora.
surprising for Guyaux. So advantage Morgan Sikora.
It's surprising to see her leave the net like that. That's she's usually just standing right in there. Ooh, that's going to get ripped. Yep. She missed that overhead,
Morgan
Guyaux.
Sikora. Games are 4-all, second set.
4-all second set. You can kind of see things shifting out here. A couple of bad overheads.
I get the feeling
Guyaux
like this
Molenveld.
set's turning into the first set had an odd feel to it. We both thought Morgan and Sikora had this thing, and then it all sort of turned on that one call that Sikora didn't make on a game point, and then they lost that game, and then they proceeded to just lose all the rest of the games in the set. So it became a very strange turn. This set has the feel of a battle.
Okay, Charlotte Sikora to serve. Her partner Allison Morgan is the net in the black. And then on the far side, it's Mirta Molenveld in the dark vest, and her partner Jessica Guyaux.
Practice serve. Oh, just thumped it, but what a volley again from Morgan. Love watching her volley.
15 love.
No communication. Either one could have played it,
15-all.
neither did.
Yeah, that's the one instance where it worked out poorly for Sikora and Morgan, because Morgan moved so much quicker than Sikora, but Sikora was actually there kind of first, but Morgan was coming in fast. So, a little confusion. But in most of those plays,
Great blitz from Guyaux.
15-30.
Morgan gets all the shots where speed is required.
And there you see some of Guyaux's athleticism on display.
There's a lot of great blitzing going on in the ladies' game.
Very little of it by Mirta
30-all.
Molenveld.
Well, I'm not going to blame that on Mirta Molenveld. If that was their play and that's the return that came,
Yeah, I just don't know where she was going on that ball.
I'm going to take issue more with the return. If their design play was blitzing, if Guyaux doesn't know Molenveld's blitzing,
40-30.
then I would say that's on Molenveld, but Guyaux just lofted a return there. The secret to the blitz is to hit the good return and then follow it up. It's never going to work with a bad return.
Point for 5-4. Which would think it would work better the other way with Molenveld returning and Guyaux
Correct.
blitzing.
Absolutely.
Now there's the hard roller for Molenveld, though that wasn't quite as hard. So here I'd like to see her going after Sikora.
Deuce.
Okay, back to deuce. You really feel like Morgan and Sikora have to have this game. Oh, that ball was close.
Oh, Morgan, what quickness there. She took a real risk cutting that ball off.
Wow, that's just a surprising
Advantage,
miss at this
Guyaux,
moment of the match.
Molenveld.
She's such a solid player.
Well, we saw that when they lost the first set, too,
Yeah.
down 6, at 5-3. She tried to dink in a blitz,
The forehand
a
slice.
high risk, right, another high risk shot. They essentially gave away that last game. It was a strange end to that first set.
Point for 5-4 for Guyaux Molenveld.
That's a great ball at the crease. Nice get there from Morgan. She's so athletic.
Great playing
Game,
for
Guyaux,
Molenveld, and they'll serve
They
for a spot in the
lead 5
finals.
games to 4.
You see
Second
Morgan and
set,
Sikora, they're not
they won the
setting up,
first set
they're
6
just
games
moving
to 3.
around. But it's not set up with a good lob and a spot and moving to a place where you're anticipating the ball. As a consequence, you're seeing the ball, they're trying to play catch up.
Yeah, no sense of what they're trying to do out there. Some really spotty mistakes.
Well, I really do believe Sikora and Morgan, this is still their 4th tournament together. That's it. They're still trying to work through whatever they need to. They've had a great run, like we said before early. They're the leaders in our Children's Cup standings.
Again, Molenveld really doing a great job in transition.
It's out.
Yeah, Sikora's missed a
15
lot of
love.
balls. Both Morgan and Sikora. I don't know whether they're tired or
I doubt that if any
didn't
of the
play the
teams
least
out here
amount
that
of
be the
paddle.
least tired, it would be them. But what they are is not in sync. That is for sure.
and Guyaux Molenveld have been really solid. Just too many errors from Morgan and Sikora.
But this match, it still strangely hinges on that. I guess it doesn't, because you could always come do whatever you want, but since that call wasn't made,
Yeah.
this match has been tougher for Morgan and Sikora.
I think that was a drop shot from Molenveld for our viewers at home if they didn't recognize it.
That was drop shots of the service line. We call that a gravity ball. The only reason it drops is
It had to
gravity.
ultimately.
Right.
Good point from both teams.
Oh, Molenveld just making some great volleys. That is a terrific roller, beautifully
pace.
placed. I'm not sure what they're asking.
30 love.
Wasn't she was asking if she came over the net, or because to me it just looked like a regular, nice roller behind her.
2 points from the match.
Yeah, she can challenge it. She can challenge it, but I just, yeah.
I guess she's
Not sure.
asking.
Well,
She's
if I
asking if
call
she
it,
hit the net.
then stop. Yeah. 30 love.
I don't know what that was about.
A lot of talking at a big moment in the match. Wow, another miss.
And here we go. Triple match point.
We should report that Timo Araya has arrived.
The Araya clan.
Good catch the Nick. Great get.
All right. You know, when it's all said and done in this match, Guyaux and Molenveld just volleyed better.
And they
Lobbed
had a
the
lot
ball
of
better.
good overhead since we've been back too.
And Morgan and Sikora, they lost their way. But it's not over yet. I like
And
the way they're doing this, fighting it to the end.
It's interesting because I'm not sure who the captain is on Morgan Sikora.
It's a good question.
And I think that you have to have a captain to win nationals. I can't remember when you had a team win without a captain.
All right, well, who's the captain on Doughton and Keene?
Oh, I think Doughton was. Oh, there it is. Game, set, and match. Guyaux Molenveld, 6-3, 6-4.
6-3,
And they'll play for the
6-4.
title tomorrow. Okay, let's come back to court one.
Terrific job there for Guyaux and Molenveld.
Thank you. Good match.
Switching over, here goes Zubori with a great get.
Great lob from Zubori.
This might be the longest point we saw.
Yeah,
You know,
clearly-
outside of the start of this third when they started to slow it down. So the team that started in this set to manage the pace a little bit more
15 all.
has been Brzova and Enica. Let's see when we get a score if it's been working for them.
So I think this should be the 6th game. So my guess is it's 3-2, 4-1, something like that.
15-30.
I'm sorry, 4-2. So it's for the 7th game. Oh, great play.
Incredible hands. Great call there from Ondrejkova on the blitz there by Brzova.
So we think it's 4-2, Brzova, Enica. I don't know if that score is right.
We're not sure.
We haven't gotten
we'll listen
that
to
score.
the umpire as soon as we get this game over.
Yeah. If I had to guess, I would say it's either 3-all or 4-2. Ondrejkova Zubori.
Ball was out.
Called out
Service
by
was out.
Enica on the other side of the court. As we were
30,
talking about
40.
before. Confirmed by the umpire. A lot of faulting today from Zubori. Quite a few.
Game, Brzova, Enica. Brzova, Enica lead the second set, 4-3.
So it was
4-3.
3-all at
It
that
was-
point, so it's now
3-all.
4-2, Brzova, Enica.
4-3.
4-3.
So clearly, the managing of the pace has made a huge difference because they just got steamrolled in the first set. You see them come out, Brzova and Enica staying back on the serves in both cases, playing some longer points. So we talk about all these things and the keys to victory, and they're doing a great job managing the play out here. Now they're in this set.
Wild forehand there from
15
Ondrejkova.
love.
Well, that was a big serve, and we don't always see that from Enica. She really went after that one. Oh, great setup. Terrific hands there from Enica.
Oh, that's just great playing all the way around. Oh, what a pickup.
That is incredible network from all players.
I've seen Zubori get beaten a couple of times on her side wire there. She doesn't play the nick as well, and there they have lack of communication.
30 love.
2 points from a hold.
I think the key to all these things is, you know, when you're playing with Enica and Zubori, anytime you can find your backhand, you do it. I mean, you know, I'd slam it into the side wire as much as I
make him
can.
beat you.
I mean, just make him hit a high backhand even.
Another big serve from Roxy Enica takes him to 40 love.
Huge serve, 2 big ones to Ondrejkova, and just the change in the style changes the tenor of the match. Whereas before they weren't able to even get into a point, now things have changed.
Game.
Well, that was a crazy
Brzova,
decision there by
Enica.
Ondrejkova, like a half
Brzova,
volley
Enica
falling back.
lead the second set, 5-3.
All right, smart adjustment. Brzova and Enica puts them at set game
Love,
here.
15.
And now everything's going the other way.
Love 30.
Love, 30.
Well, now you sort of feel it the other direction a little bit here. A couple of big points in that last game, that exchange at the net. I mean, Zubori and Ondrejkova actually played that point great, but just tremendous volleying from Brzova and
Love, 40.
Enica, some of the best I've seen.
And there you see Zubori in transition, indecisive, starts moving back. Gets caught coming back, and it's
All right,
triple set point. And
There
there
it
it
is.
is. Game in second
Brzova,
set. Brzova
Enica.
Enica, 6-3.
Brzova, Enica
All right,
win
we'll
the
be back
second
in just
set,
a moment after
6
these
games
messages
to 3.
right here on the
Match is
APTA
even
Network,
at
presented
1
by
set
eNet
apiece.
Live.
When people think of Roto-Rooter, they typically just think plumbing and water cleanup. And they wouldn't be wrong, but we do a whole lot more. Roto-Rooter. Yeah, we do that too.
I play to be a role model in my neighborhood.
I play to be part of the team.
I play to be stronger than my brothers.
I play to channel my energy in a positive way.
I play because the field is where I shine. I play to be a part of something bigger than myself.
I play to stay healthy. I play to feel powerful.
I play to win.
Welcome back to the APTA Grand Prix Series. We are in the women's semifinal match between our number 2 and our number 3 seeds.
15 love.
And it's 15 love now for Enica and Brzova, who did a wonderful job changing the narrative in that second set mark and taking it 6-3 against Zubori and Ondrejkova.
Well, as we talked about, Brad, when things are going bad, change them. The first set was bang, bang, bang. They were making all their returns, getting a lot of confidence, and got rolled. And then they come out in the second set and start staying back, get into some long grinding points. All of a sudden, Ondrejkova, Zubori miss some shots, not as confident on the return of serves. Boom, they win the set.
Yeah, and not only that, but you saw it.
Oh,
Enica actually drill a few serves, but you could completely see at one moment, a shift. And I think this third set, it'll probably be like this little equilibrium where they'll find the mid-balance between the two of them, and whoever can execute and play their game plan the way they want to best.
A little bit surprised that Enica started the set off. Wonder if that had something to do with that really good game she served, the penultimate game of the second set.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I mean, she served 2 bombs into Ondrejkova, who has one of the best returns in the game.
All.
And you see Zubori there. She gets a little static with her feet, almost stops in the middle of the point, and then misses the forehand.
And she could have been easily just moving in and attacking that ball. See her looking up at the sky. She's made some great shots, but she's also faulted a few times and missed a few like that.
A couple great volleys from Enica this game on the Ondrejkova return.
Well, things often take, a shape. The first set was just basically they couldn't even make a volley, and Zubori and Ondrejkova were just crushing the ball at them, and them just walking into it time and time again. Second set they take that away, and third set probably will have some equilibrium.
There you see Enica switching at the net to get her overhead in the middle. Good slot there from Zubori.
And that is a great lob from Zubori.
30-40.
She plays it to the right side of the court so they can't find her side wire, and then
move
moves to the middle.
Perfect.
And it's just textbook paddle. And then when she lobs like that, there is no place for them to hit the ball, because it's either going to Ondrejkova, who can hammer it from both sides, or it's going to the Zubori forehand.
Big forehand from Zubori there.
Ondrejkova,
Right back.
Zubori. Ondrejkova, Zubori lead the third set. 1 game to love.
Okay. One of the things I like about Ondrejkova Zubori is they tend to have Zubori serve first all the time. They look at her serve as the better, and she always starts us out.
She does have a dynamic serve. She puts a top spin on it. She hammers it. There you see, like, Ondrejkova's volley. She's a very good volleyer, but she's just handsy. She just stands there and forehand, backhand,
15
either way.
love.
And more miscommunication from Brzova Enica there. That was Enica's ball. Brzova had no business being there.
Yep. And I think that just a little time on the court together.
Who do you like in the third set, Brad?
I'm going to go back to Zubori and Ondrejkova.
Yeah, I agree.
And just,
Boy, that was a sitter right there for Enica.
30
Zubori
love.
in full retreat.
And the reason I have for going back to it, it really could go either way, we both know that, is that I think the second set they got caught. Now they're going to find whatever their equilibrium is. And I think they had a little better of the play, but
30-15.
if they're not going to execute those shots, or if they're going to fault, or,
Yeah, I'm not
any
sure why
which way.
Zubori's staying back against Brzova. Certainly understand it against Enica.
Different type of return for different serves. It's funny, you will see Brzova take the return off the deck of the Zubori serve, whereas you'll see Brzova take it, Brzova's taking it early off the deck, high to low. You'll see Enica take it off the screen a lot of times. I think she feels more comfortable against that ball that gives her a little more time to get in.
Oh, that's great feel from Zubori. That was not an easy shot.
40-15.
Ball below the height of the net, had to go up and down.
She certainly made it look easy, Mark.
She makes everything look easy, Brad.
It was very much a nonchalant, just doink. Beautifully done.
Brad, Tiernan Kavana and her partner Krista Sherney won a round in the back draw.
Congratulations to our president. How about that?
Spectacular play when I was watching, Brad.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to see much of that.
Catches the nick.
Game,
2
Ondrejkova,
love.
Zubori.
Ondrejkova,
Ondrejkova, Zubori
Zubori.
lead this third set, 2 games love.
Good start.
Both players back. Serving to Ondrejkova. This was a smart adjustment they made.
But what's great about the adjustment is they're going to multiple situations now. They start 2 back, and then they both rush in. So what they've done is make, Zubori and Ondrejkova have to think about it. Whereas before, they didn't have to think about it. Just rip the return. Again, the static feeds.
15
tries an
love.
inside out.
Yeah, you don't want to go around them. You want to go through them. Roxy Enica with another one of those big Araya-esque cut shots. Oh.
Ooh. All right, gives it the dunk.
30 love.
And she cannot handle the spike. Let's see if they'll do just Brzova coming in. Nobody this time. I love it. Just different looks to keep them guessing.
And a great lob from Brzova.
40 love.
The blitz scares her into a missed overhead.
Such a great adjustment, and it's such a great message to the league players. Just because you can't handle somebody's return of serve doesn't mean there aren't other options.
Yep, there are many, many ways. And in fact, everybody at all levels really should learn 4 or 5 different serve strategies.
Well, again, she tries to go around her.
Game,
Zubori's getting a little
Brzova,
loose in that game,
Enica.
and that does worry me.
Ondrejkova, Zubori lead the third set, 2-1.
So Guyaux Molenveld done for the night.
Waiting for the winner of this tomorrow morning, 9 a.m.
So far, yeah.
Women's final.
Don't go far,
Yeah,
though.
I think the weather forecast for tomorrow is not great in the afternoon, but the morning should be okay.
Yeah,
somewhat
hoping.
similar to Cincinnati.
Yeah, and Cincinnati is very strange weather out there. It actually turned out to be better than we thought. Hopefully we'll get in some good play before any deluge happens.
But all of a sudden they're staying back to Brzova, which I don't quite understand.
I think it's what I was saying before. You know, you're seeing Enica take the ball off the screen more and Brzova take it off the deck.
A great dig there.
No.
Big shout, but again, that
15.
handsy style of volleying. Brzova's talking to her about whether she's going to blitz or not, I imagine, Bradford.
Yep.
And here she comes.
Ooh.
Enika's missed a few more forehands today than you'd expect. That was right in her wheelhouse.
Well, I like the challenging serves. I think, you know, these challenging serves work better for Brzova and not quite as well for Enica. I mean, she'll still make them.
That was a lot of emotion from Ondrejkova there. Something you don't normally see.
You don't see a lot. You're right.
Zubori seems to have kind of left the building, Bradford.
A little bit. That's what I was saying at the end of that game. A few loose points. She seems to have kind of drifted.
Yeah, if it comes to intensity, you got to like Brzova and Enica.
40.
Well, I would think, I mean, is there anyone more intense than Brzova out on the court? I mean, you could say Enica might even be second in intensity, but it's a different type. You know, Brzova's got more of that focus kind.
Back-to-back missed returns with a chance to get back on serve.
Enica's going to have to maybe even take a lob once or twice. I mean, put the ball in play.
Well,
I understand the hitter's got to hit, but
let's not get out of control here, okay? I mean, come on.
Lob
Be
the
realistic,
return,
yeah.
God forbid.
Another miss there from Zubori on a very makeable ball. Got her team in trouble. Oh, great get.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Brzova should have just waited a half second, let that ball rise up a little. She could have hit it. I don't think she thought that Ondrejkova was just going to stand there at the net. She just lofted it up to her. It's a miss.
Advantage.
Wow, this would be a
Zubori.
big hold
Be
for
a big
Ondrejkova.
hold, but I mean,
They've
they've
let
had
him off the hook.
every opportunity, Enica and Brzova here. I mean, they've missed four returns, and Zubori's giving them chances right now. You gotta take it.
Yeah, again,
Game.
kind of a mishit
Ondrejkova,
forehand
Zubori.
return.
Well, Enica
Ondrejkova,
completely
Zubori
lost her
lead
forehand return
the
there
third
in that
set,
game.
3-1.
And, you know, I
That
think
game
she
was just
3 or 4,
gifted.
and that was yes. And it was, and let's be fair, Zubori was trying to gift a little bit of it the other way. And it was
You
Love
take it. No,
15.
you take
yeah,
it.
exactly. All right. You want it? No. Here, you take it.
I insist.
Right. That's a heck of a return.
That's great transition play there from Enica.
15
incredible.
all.
I wouldn't say this is a must hold, but pretty close.
I tell you, ever since they went to their different strategy, though, of
15,
staying back
30.
and mixing it in, their serve and volley percentages, which was basically
0?
5%, you know, in the first set, has gone way, way up. They're making first volleys quite a bit now, or at least staying in the point.
Enica's gone away from the big serve.
Oh, that's such good footwork. I love those hard overheads at the crease against Enica. I think it's a good risk to take because if it goes in there, you got a good chance. And if it doesn't, it generally will stay on her backhand side, which is okay.
Wow,
Both
no
standing on top of each
communication.
other.
30 all.
Either one had an easy ball, neither one hit it. Wow, that could have made it 15-40, Brad.
Yep, that was big.
There you see some of Ondrejkova's lack of comfort in the wires.
Yeah, what she gets, it's hard to say she gets away with it. It's just she's so good at driving the ball and she's so lengthy, it's actually hard to get it to her wires. Because look at that, every ball that's come her way, she's just driven.
30,
Spectacular
40.
points she played there.
She almost knocked the cameras out.
Almost.
Almost. They're back.
Okay, point for 4-1, 30-40.
I tell you, Ondrejkova was just like a ball machine there.
Oh.
Boom, boom, boom. Crushing drives. Oh, that's the explosion off the paddle that you're talking about.
Game.
There was some
Ondrejkova,
acceleration in that
Zubori.
swing.
Yeah, but she
Ondrejkova,
does it with such
Zubori lead
ease and
the
flair.
third
She,
set,
she's got
4
that kind of
games
power.
to 1.
You know, it just releases the head of the racket.
So they'll serve 4-1 in the third.
Now, Zubori's had a few fault issues. And we'll see if she stays back and continues to. I think she will. I think the Brzova serve off, the return off the deck has scared them more. And the Enica return, basically in that last game, has gone away.
Ball was
So we're
out.
going to see if Enica can get it back or if she'll lob a few.
And that
Love
return was so
15.
bad it was good.
Yep.
Kind of
Missed
mishit,
the ball out.
dipping. Relatively easy ball.
See if Enica can get her timing back. She's been very late off the deck here on these challenging serves. She's been better off the screen. I'm not sure of the blitz on that one. Like to see him build this point. So you're now at the point in the match, I think, Mark, where Brzova and Enica can't just afford to do whatever. They have to play good, balanced points, one after another. That's a rip right there.
Bad over, a great lob.
Well, hard to the back screen makes no sense. Hard to the side screen or at the crease makes every sense to me.
And then once you've hit it hard to the back screen, get out of the way.
Yeah. Why go there into the drive?
15-30.
And she's been hitting them. I mean, she's in the middle of the point. She's hitting her drive okay. It's just the return that's seemingly gone away.
That's the overhead you're talking about.
I think you can bang it in there all day if you want.
Wow, that's a surprise.
Surprising.
Yeah.
30
Out
all.
of nowhere.
Yeah, Brzova rarely misses balls like that. Yeah, just pound it in there.
You don't see a lot of the women aiming hard for the crease.
Yeah, I think that play can be used a lot more.
Why do you think that is, Brad? I mean, like
I'm
that
not
ball right there, that's a ball that could have been aimed right at the crease. I don't know where Enica's going on that ball.
Just don't think she has the advantage. I mean, she could surprise, she could sneak in, and look, we've seen her make phenomenal athletic plays.
But it's not about that.
Right now, it's about taking the right look at the right time, because you don't have, you're down 4-1 in the third. You have a lot less opportunities to come back. For every point you lose is one less opportunity. You're getting closer to the finish line here.
Yeah, your margins are gone.
Yes. And
That's
the only thing that can really allow you to do this is we've seen Zubori go away a little. I haven't seen Ondrejkova go away at all. She's like, you know, just solid.
Game.
And it's what you talked about early, Brad, with the keys to victory, risk versus reward, decision making. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it.
Yeah.
And they're in trouble. Okay, they're gonna. Anika's coming in.
Here. I think they're just gonna go with it. And there's one winner. Ondrejkova really stepped it up. Really stepped it up, Ondrejkova, I think, here at the end. There was a couple of moments where I think Zubori was getting loose, and you saw Ondrejkova really just take good shot after good shot. She does it in such a, I don't know, a manner that's like, you know, you don't see a lot. No fist bumps, no nothing, just one good shot after another.
And this game has been way too fast. And where is Enica there?
It's
that takes us to triple match point.
This is not a mentally tough game.
No.
This is
from a mentally tough team. It's surprising.
Well, we've seen various things some of the times out of Enica. You know, with the amazing talent comes great responsibility. Get it behind the back or staying alive.
15-40.
Zubori with the behind the back volley. Was that a 40 love volley, or did she really have to play it behind the back?
I love that one she had to play behind the back.
Yeah? Okay.
Went off the lead cord.
Let's see.
Oh, real confusion. Great blitz.
Missed
she
it
misses
wide.
it. Game, set, match. Ondrejkova, Zubori, 6-1, 3-6, 6-1. Kind of a strange match, Bradford.
Terrific final tomorrow, but I kind of agree with you. It's like we said, it went right back, and then it took a different equilibrium in the third, and, you know, it just looked like Enica went off the rails. She lost her return. She wasn't able to hit a few balls, and then instead of dialing it back another notch and see to fight your way and play some really tight points,
Went
they just
the other
got
way,
looser.
dialed it up.
Dialed it up and got looser and, you know, went the way of the first set, basically.
What are your thoughts on tomorrow, Bradford?
You know what? I look forward to – my real thoughts center around Molenveld and Guyaux. Because we've talked about them breaking out for some time. You know, Zubori and Ondrejkova, they just won Chicago. You know, they have to be clear and heavy favorites for tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And
a win will jump them up to #1 in the country for the first time in Zubori's career.
Wow, how about that? And it's got to put them right up there in the Children's Cup standings, too, probably, if they get a win here tomorrow. They're probably already right there.
Yeah, I think that would move them up to second, right? Probably behind Morgan Sikora.
But, you know, I think tomorrow's match is all about Molenveld and Guyaux just finding their way to play against a team with this kind of firepower and talent and volleying as well as they did today and finding a way to win against them, because I would say they're definite favorites. They're going to have to find a way to get the ball in there to Zubori's backhand time and time again, pound it into that screen, make sure they take all the shots out of it, and when they have the huge looks, if you're not in great position at the net, don't be afraid to go back. Play the point. Keep extending them.
Okay, we'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock right here on the APT Network, presented by eNet Live. And that's a wrap, delivered by Uline.